In this video, I'm going to react to 2021's Major League Baseball stadiums. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, this is going to be really interesting just because I've been watching so much Major League Baseball recently, reacting to it as well. And it's interesting to know that the way that the stadiums are actually laid out across different sports are quite similar, in the sense that obviously you've got the ground area where the players actually play, you've got the stands where the spectators sit, etc. However, there are, slight variances in terms of, obviously, a Major League Baseball field is like a diamond shape, I believe. So obviously the dimensions of how the actual stadium are built need to accommodate for that, the shape of the ground. So it's going to be quite fun to actually see what they actually look like, see all of them in particular, because obviously you'll be able to tell which teams have a bit more money than other teams by how their stadiums look. So yeah, this is going to be a ton of fun. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to 2021's Major League Baseball stadiums. Let's do it.
Major League Baseball is the unquestioned top dog when it comes to baseball leagues. And all of the stadiums are world class.
Wow.
Well,
look at that. Did you see that one?
Almost all of them. Here are the Major League Baseball 2021 stadiums, plus an interesting fact about each one. We start off with the iconic Fenway Park, which is the oldest Major League Baseball stadium, opening way back in 1912.
Wow. 109 years old.
And now a stadium that's slightly less iconic, maybe? Would you agree? Tropicana Field.
The top of that stadium looks like something. Let me know if you know what I'm thinking about, particularly this thing right here.
Is the only dome stadium in Major League Baseball, meaning the roof is not retractable.
I see.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards. You see that warehouse over there? Well, outside of batting practice, only one man has hit it.
Wow.
And that was Ken Griffey Jr. during the 1993 Home Run Derby. Rogers Centre is the only Canadian stadium, and it was also the first MLB stadium with a retractable roof. At around $1.5 billion, Yankee Stadium is the most expensive MLB stadium
$1.5 billion. Oh.
ever built.
That looks pretty cool.
Marlins Park has the lowest average attendance in Major League Baseball,
Really?
at just 10,016 in 2019.
Wow.
But if you think that's bad, for some reason it dropped dramatically in 2020 to just 240.
Oh. Well, that has to be probably because of obviously the pandemic, surely.
Truist Park has the largest roof canopy of any MLB stadium, 3 times bigger than most. Weird flex, but okay.
I like the look of that stadium, to be honest. Now, this one looks awesome. This one looks really cool.
If, like me, you have the desire to round the bases at Petco Park in your car, don't do it in real life. Just dust off your PS2 and play some Midnight Club 3. The indoor batting cages at Citizens Bank Park are carpeted with the turf from the Phillies' former home, Veterans Stadium.
That's a cool little feature. I like that. Oh, look at this. This looks so modern. This is beautiful. Especially with all the boats there. That's a great look.
A digital counter at Oracle Park that records every time a Giants player hits a home run into the bay on the fly. So far, there's been 83 splash hits. The original designs for Citi Field featured a retractable roof and movable field.
Movable field?
Then they realised that shit cost money. The design of Nationals Park, not to be confused with National Parks, was inspired by the east wing of the National Gallery of Art in DC, which is a bit of a stretch, I think. Wrigley Field gets its name from the
Surely this one's still under construction, right?
high number of worms in the soil, causing the field to wriggle.
Wow.
And while that's not true, what is true is that
This guy's sense of humour is A1. So dry.
floodlights weren't added until 1988. 58 years after the first ever floodlit professional baseball game. In 2008, a Hit Me sign was installed at the Great American Ballpark where a fan could win a Toyota Tundra if it was hit by a home run.
Wow.
It took until 2015 until somebody actually hit it.
I hope that fan actually got their car. Now this is really cool looking. This is really unique.
Aesthetically speaking, Miller Park is one of my favourite MLB stadiums, and the fan-shaped roof is the only one of its kind in North America.
Very unique. I like it. I have to say, I really like the stadiums that are close to a waterfront. It just adds to the, relaxed, chilled sort of vibe. I don't know. I like it.
PNC Park probably has the most picturesque view in the MLB. It was also the first stadium to feature an out-of-town scoreboard showing scores of every ongoing MLB game. Busch Stadium is the third stadium in St. Louis to be called Busch Stadium. Busch founder Adolphus Busch lived in St. Louis. I can't imagine there are many Adolphuses left in the world.
Do you know what I mean? I was thinking that in my head. I was just thinking, how many guys are there out there called Adolf or Adolphus? This is pretty cool.
When Guaranteed Rate Field opened in 1991, it was the first major stadium to be built in Chicago for 62 years.
Wow.
Progressive Field was funded by smokers and drinkers.
No way.
The city introduced a 15-year sin tax on tobacco and alcohol
What?
to pay for the stadium.
What? Someone explain that to me in the comments. That has to be some BS, right?
Comerica Park is the only ballpark in the MLB to feature a keyhole path, which was common back in the old days. And I can understand why Detroit, of all places, wants to live in the past. Actually, no, that's not fair on Detroit. I haven't even been there, to be honest. I'm sure it's a lovely place. An acquaintance of mine actually has been there, and he told me that it's a very festive city. He said there were firecrackers going off almost every single night.
Firecrackers. This guy, man, he's so brutal. Brutal.
Kauffman Stadium is the only ballpark in the American League to be named after a person. Ewing Kauffman, who was the founder of the Royals.
I like this. This is really cool. I like this. It might not be the most, how can you say, futuristic type looking stadium, but it just looks pretty.
The halo at the top of the Big A outside of the stadium lights up after an Angels win,
Nice.
which gave rise to the expression, light that baby up.
Really? That's where it came from? What? The Oakland A's. Like, I know about these guys because of that film. What was it called? Moneyball. Great film. Great movie.
The Oakland Coliseum has the most foul territory in the MLB. Some would say the whole stadium is foul territory after all those problems with the sewage.
Does it really stink in there or something?
T-Mobile Park is the only roofed MLB stadium that's climate controlled.
Really?
That's due to Seattle's mild climate.
I feel like I've just missed a joke there. I think I have.
Incredibly, there are 7 tiers of seating at Globe Life Field, which allows the higher up seats to be closer to the field. This stadium might be ugly on the outside, as some people say, but inside it's quite incredible.
Wow.
And after all, isn't that what really matters? Some people say Chase Field feels more like an airplane hangar than a baseball stadium.
This one I'm not quite sure about. It looks a bit too industrial, if you know what I mean. A bit too warehousey.
But it was the first American MLB stadium with a retractable roof. So, cut it some slack.
Yeah, so they're sort of like trailblazers in a way.
During the construction of Coors Field, excavators unearthed a dinosaur skull that was dated at 66 million years old.
No way. Wow. Do you get to keep that? Like, if you find something like that, surely you get to keep it, right? So long as the land that it was discovered under you own. Let me know in the comment section. Interesting look.
When building Minute Maid Park, the construction workers misheard the instructions to build training facilities as build a train in the facility.
No way.
Well, that's obviously not true, but there is a full-size train in the stadium, and we have an exclusive recording that shows you the reason why. So after 3.5 years, we finally finished the design for Houston's new stadium, and it should come in only slightly over budget. Hold on. There's one more thing I'd like to add. Yes? It's gonna sound crazy.
This guy.
Go on. I was thinking that maybe we should build a train in the stadium. What are you talking about? The public transport has already been sorted. No, not a train to the stadium. A train in the actual stadium.
At least he's trying to put his personality.
Have you gone mad, boy? Just hear me out. If I could become the driver of that train, then I would die a happy man. It's my lifelong dream to become a train driver, you see.
Oh my god.
Well, why did you go through 4 years of college to become an engineer? That's the thing. When I signed up for that course, I thought they meant an engineer like a train driver, because that's what they're called.
How long has this been going on for?
But by the time I figured out it was a course to become a stadium engineer,
I'll not listen to all of that, sorry.
our field was ranked as the #1 baseball stadium experience in North America by ESPN, the magazine.
That's a pretty
There
good
are a
one.
lot of qualifiers there, but number one. And last but certainly not least, Dodger Stadium is the world's largest baseball stadium by seating capacity.
Wow, how many does it seat?
So, last but most, if you will.
What's the capacity on that one?
Well, there you have it. The Major League Baseball stadiums.
I have to say that I definitely like the look of a few of those stadiums there. I can't remember in particular. I think one of them that I really liked was the Kansas City Kings, I believe, or it was the KC Kings with the big crown. And another one was there was quite a few stadiums that were close to water, like bodies of water. But there was one in particular that it was the one where there were loads of like little boats, little sailboats, like on the right hand side. Looked amazing. But yeah, like I definitely want to get to one of these stadiums, especially after that video that I watched last week about the food that you guys can get at these stadiums. Just yeah, I definitely need to get to a Major League Baseball game. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.